Hi guys, so today I want to share with you a recipe I've been obsessed with lately. It's so good, it tastes like serious comfort food. I sometimes crave it more than pizza, which if you know me and you know how much I love pizza, that's saying a lot. This is so tasty. The secret ingredient is nutritional yeast, which makes it taste super cheesy and high calorie, but it's not at all. It's super easy, like almost easier than ordering a pizza. And it tastes better. Maybe. Sometimes it tastes better. This is a quinoa-based dish. Quinoa is so ridiculously awesome. It's a superfood because it has so many nutrients. It has anti-inflammatories, antioxidants, fiber, protein. So we start with quinoa. I've already rinsed this just to get the dirt off of it. Rinsed it in some water and then strained it. This is a 1/3 cup. Now you can use more, you can use less. I've done a 1/2 cup before, I've done a 1/4 cup. Do whatever amount you like. The key though is to use twice as much liquid as you use quinoa. So I'm doing a 1/3 cup of quinoa, which means I'm going to do 2/3 cup of vegetable broth. So just throw in your saucepan the quinoa, 1/3 cup, add 2/3 cup liquid. You can use water, or I prefer vegetable broth because it adds extra flavor. If you're using a 1/2 cup quinoa, then use a full cup of liquid. See what I'm saying? Just double it. Super easy. Next, I like to throw in just a little bit of garlic. I used to add a lot of garlic, but one of my friends told me I was starting to kind of smell bad from eating so much garlic all the time. So a little or a lot of garlic, whatever you prefer. Then I'm going to throw in a few Julienned sun-dried tomatoes. If you can, try to strain them a little bit, get a little bit of oil off of there. But I do just like 2 or 3 forkfuls of the sun-dried tomatoes. Also, we're going to throw some greens in there. You can do spinach, you can do kale, you can do a combination of both. I've been known to do that. Today I'm going to do kale. Fresh greens are always the best. However, I tend to use frozen just because it's so convenient. I can keep them on hand, they never go bad. I always have them there whenever I want to whip up this dish or whip up any kind of quick healthy dish. So, we're going to add some frozen kale. I don't have any exact measurements. I would estimate this is about a cup of kale, just kind of enough to cover the entire saucepan. And it's not really actually even that important, the measurements on this recipe. So we've got the quinoa, the garlic, the sun-dried tomatoes, the vegetable broth, and the kale. And then we need to just season it. Now the key ingredient for seasoning this dish is smoked paprika. I've become a little bit obsessed with this lately, especially when I'm using nutritional yeast. It makes a great flavor. I just kind of sprinkle the heck out of this. And again, I don't have any measurements, just I would estimate it's about 2 teaspoons. And then add a dash of salt, a little bit of pepper. You may want to add more salt and pepper at the end once you taste it, just because we're using this nutritional yeast instead of cheese, and in order to get the cheesy flavor, we need to have some salt in there, because cheese is salty. If you've never heard of nutritional yeast before, check out my video all about it. It's basically just a dairy-free, everything-free flake that makes everything delicious and cheesy. So I like to keep it on hand and use it a lot. So once you get all of that in your pot, just turn up the heat. Get everything to come to a boil. It should just take a couple of minutes. And then once it starts boiling, reduce the heat to simmer and cover it with a lid. Now while that's cooking, kick back, relax, go check your email, watch some Jeopardy, have a glass of wine, whatever you like to do. It's just going to cook for 10 minutes. If it does run out of liquid, you can add a little bit more. Now after 10 minutes, the quinoa should be almost done. So that is when we add the nutritional yeast. This is about 1/2 cup of nutritional yeast. And again, you can do more or less depending on how cheesy you like things. I've done more before. I've gone crazy with this stuff and it almost sometimes gets too rich for me to eat. So about 1/2 cup is where I'm going to start today. Add that in, stir it up, cover the pot, let it cook for about 3 to 5 more minutes, and voila, it's that easy. You throw the ingredients in a pot, you let it cook, you add one more thing, you let it cook more, you have a whole meal in about 15 minutes. Trust me, you're gonna love it. It's so, so good. And then of course add more salt and pepper. Let it cool too, because I've been known to eat it right away and burn my mouth off. So if you can wait a couple minutes, let it cool. Hope you like it. Enjoy.